Welcome to today's episode of the Simply Financial Podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Calandra, and I'd like to increase your financial IQ today with our topic of the day, which is a financial planning meeting with a spouse. Coming together for a financial planning meeting is important in a relationship, helping to keep both parties on the same page. So I want to offer up 5 tips to have this be successful. The first thing is to set a schedule and stick to it. It should be a regular habit. My wife, Joelle, and I do this quarterly, and we have done it for years. At the beginning, when we were getting started on this, the meetings sometimes lasted a little bit. Over the last several years, though, because we're in a little bit of a groove, it's 10, 15 minutes. It does not take much time. So you want to have a schedule, stick to it. Additionally, under this point is that should be a quiet place to meet, uninterrupted by, say, kids or cleaning or watching TV. You want to focus on this. For some people, not for me and for Joelle and I, for some people it's beneficial to sort of go off campus, get out of the house, do it over coffee or something like that. If that works for you, that's great. But the overriding number one tip is to set a schedule and stick to it. Also know that it might be quarterly for a while, then it might be monthly for a while. You could do it every 6 months. I think every 6 months is the minimum. Number 2 tip is to have an agenda. Be prepared for this meeting. Have in mind and have done some research on things like expenses, income coming into the household, assets, debts, goals for the future, and be prepared to have difficult discussions. This preparation, the net worth statement, which I talk a lot about on the show, as well as in the Osaic Wealth management practice with our clients, where you're keeping track of your assets and your liabilities and determining what your net worth is. This would be important to have for these meetings. So you want to have an agenda, and both parties should come to the table with things they would want to talk about and preparation they had for said discussion. So that's number 2, have an agenda. Number 3, I talked about having difficult discussions. These discussions, tip number 3, is to be open and flexible. This is personal financial planning. This is personal finances. There's not one way to be successful. Granted, there are guidelines, best practices, proven strategies that work over the long term, but within that, there's lots of flexibility, customization, personalization. So you want to be open and flexible. You're not going to see eye to eye on every single issue. So you want to be open and flexible. You want to move towards the achievement of goals, but not be so rigid that you alienate your partner or disrespect your partner. So be open and flexible is tip number 3. Moving along, tip number 4 is consider a third party to help with these meetings when it makes sense. That could be a certified financial planner like I am. My team and I could often host these meetings for our clients to help, especially when there is a big transition or a big decision looming, or maybe both parties are at loggerheads on something. It could be a trusted family member, a mentor, parent, could be a CPA. This is not something that you're going to do every quarter, of course, but sometimes it might make sense to seek the advice and counsel of a third party that is valued and trusted in the relationship. So that's tip number 4. Consider a third party when and if it makes sense. And number 5 is partnership first. This is a bit of a reiteration, but it is so important. It has its own category, as well as being touched on in some of the previous ones. This is personal finance. It's a marathon, not a sprint. If you're doing these meetings every quarter or every 6 months, we want you to do these. The advice is to do these on an ongoing basis. So when you get started, you're not going to conquer the world. You're not going to get everything done. That's okay. You want to make forward progress. I already talked about being open and flexible. Not everything is going to get done all at once. You want to have continuous improvement, and you want to stick with this habit. And your relationship with your partner, specifically and most candidly in a marital setting, that relationship comes first. If your relationship is struggling, your money and finances will probably struggle too and might magnify the other problems. Your partnership comes first. Granted, I am not a marriage counselor, but this is what I've observed over my 30 plus years of financial planning and working with clients from all different backgrounds, ages, that type of thing. It's worth noting as we begin to wrap up that 3 in 4 married couples or cohabitating Americans say financial decisions cause tension in their relationship. Having these financial planning meetings routinely is meant to mitigate that, to reduce the chances there's too much tension in their relationship. And if there is tension, at least to have it compartmentalized within a meeting where you have structure, you have regularity, and you have some good rules that I've just given you to help guide you. This 3 in 4 statistic I just gave you comes from the American Institute of CPAs. So thanks for listening to today's episode. I was excited to deliver this to you. I think it's really good information for those of you that are listening, that are in a relationship, a partnership, a marriage. I think this is good. If you want more information about me and our team here at Elliott Wealth Management Services, go to the website, elliottwealth.com. That's 2 L's and 2 T's in Elliott. And you could even sign up for a complimentary consultation. Thanks again for listening. I'll be back with you on the next episode of the Simply Financial podcast very soon.
The views expressed are not necessarily the opinion of Osaic Wealth, Inc., and should not be construed directly or indirectly as an offer to buy or sell any securities mentioned herein. Investing is subject to risks, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Please note, the information being provided is strictly as a courtesy. When you link to any of the websites provided here, you are leaving this website. We make no representation as to the completeness or accuracy of information provided at these websites. Nor is the company liable for any direct or indirect technical or system issues or any consequences arising out of your access to or your use of third-party technologies, websites, information, and programs made available through this website. When you access one of these websites, you are leaving our website and assume total responsibility and risk for your use of the websites you are linking to. Securities and advisory services are offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Insurance services offered through Elliott Wealth Management Services, LLC, not affiliated with Osaic Wealth, Inc.